What's up everyone, my name is Untitled and welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm really crammed on time, so let's get right into it. So, JavaScript memory game, we're continuing off. Let's just jump right in. So here I have changed a couple of things. First of all, variables. I've declared a couple of things here with comments. I'm going to comment out a lot more stuff. So variables, I've added a new variable, variable matches. This is the type of variable that's going to be looking at how many matches there are to the game, so how many we have already matched up. So every time we get something correct, matches will increment one up until it hits 8, at which point the game is won. Here I've stored all the elements. So this is the variable elements that we want to record. Then there is the code, the actual code that we're going to be running, and in the bottom I've got the functions that we are going to be creating or have created already. That we want to run. For now, we want to add an event listener to every single button. So with that, we need to do a for loop. So for I equals 0, and then while I is smaller than buttons dot length, we want to increment I, and that's it. And we want to open it up like that. And then what we want to do is we want to loop through those buttons and add an event listener. That's what we're going to be doing. And we're going to add a click listener. So it's going to be listening for a click. Sounds very self-explanatory. And then the second parameter is going to be a function. And that function is going to have a parameter e, which is going to be the event of that particular case. And well, here you will be able to see what exactly it does. So let's log the e. Let's log the event. Let's load up the page. And here you can see that if I click, we now get a mouse event recorded. And it has a lot of stuff in it. It has like the screen coordinates of where you clicked exactly. It also has, which is very important, the target. So let's see here, target. So it knows exactly what we pressed. And from that target, we can access everything from that target. So it's text content, it's inner HTML, it's datasets, it's ID, everything. So that's the way that we're going to be programming around this. It's actually very easy, and we can also access the style elements of those elements that we've selected. So that's the basic use of an event listener. It just gives me access to the thing that I've clicked on and change a bunch of stuff about it. So first things first, when we click, we want to record the first click. We want to record the second click. We want to know whether or not it's a match and whether or not it is no match. Those are the things that we're going to be looking at. So first of all, on the first click, before that, I want to record the turnable value that we have set on the HTML buttons. I feel like we can actually completely make this program without the turnable value at all. Maybe at the end, when we're done programming, I'm just going to remove the turnable variable completely from the game, remove it in the HTML and see how that works. I think it works pretty damn fine without it, but for sakes of keeping the extra parameter in here, just to be safe, I'm going to keep it in here. So we're going to say turnable. So the variable turnable is going to equal to the particular element that we're clicking on. So that's going to be e.target.dataset.turnable. So what that means is that turnable is going to equal whatever the event target, so the button that we're pressing on, it's dataset turnable, which is, if you guys remember, this particular things. So here in the main, here are these buttons, they all have a dataset turnable, and it means true. But we can also set it to different things if we want to, and that's exactly how we're going to make use of this. So first of all, we need to make an if statement. So this is the if first click, right? So that's the first thing that we're going to be looking at. And let's just plop that over here. So that's or actually over here. First click, right? So that's the first click. And inside here, we want to check whether or not wait is false. So you can use booleans like this. This means that wait needs to be true. This means that wait needs to be false. The exclamation point means the opposite. Same goes with if does not compare to. It's the same thing. So here is a wait, which needs to be false. Then also the last known button ID has to equal to undefined. Then and the last known button number also has to equal to undefined. Oh yeah, and turnable has to equal to true. It has to equal to that, and then it can run the code. So this is the first click. This is what happens when you click it for the first time. So when they click it on the first time, we want to enter the text first. So target e.target.text content. Text content equals, so that's going to be the particular thing that we clicked on, its text content, which is the button, and we want to set it to that same button's dataset.number. And what that will do is, you guessed it, enter that number from its dataset as a number in its text content. Very easy. Now, then we also want to set e.target.style.background color. Oh, sorry, small letters to start with, and then color with a capital letter, and we can set it to orange, for example. So now, yay, we get orange buttons. Congratulations. Now, next up, what do we need to do? We need to set the last known button ID, which is going to be e.target.id. So the ID of the target, very simple. Let's see, I'm getting an error here. Oh yeah, sorry. Last known button equals, sorry. And last known button number equals e.target.dataset.number. Very simple. So that is all that I need to do here, I think. Yes. And I also need to set e.target.dataset.turnable to be false now. So it doesn't equal to true, so it won't be able to run. And that's all nice and cool. Then we need to do an else if statement. So else if, again, weight needs to be false. Then we also need to have the last known button ID must not compare to undefined. And the last known button number must also not compare to undefined. And finally, turnable must compare to true still. So it still needs to be able to be turnable. The last known button ID and number has to be undefined, and it cannot wait. It's basically very simple to say like that. Now, what is next? Also, I'm forgetting another value here. It can also not click itself. So we need to do another statement here. We got to say that the event.target.id cannot equal to the last known button ID. It cannot match to that. If it does, then it's clicking on itself, and you can't do that. So this way we can never click a second one. Well, now when we click a second one, nothing happens, but now it can't click itself either. That's very important. So now, next up, what we want to do is we want to set the next thing that we clicked as well. It's dataset turnable to false. Dataset turnable equals false, so we can't turn that one over anymore. Then the text content we need to do, so target.text content equals e.target.dataset.number. So that's the second one. From there on in, we need to set the if else statement if it's a match. So if, and this is going to be if it's a match, so this is the second click. Hold on, let me put that over here. And this is a match, so if match. So if the e.target.dataset.number compares to the last known button number, then it is a match, and else it is not a match. So else it is not a match. Okay, seems pretty simple. If it's a match, we need to set the targets. So e.target.style.background color. Oh, we're doing that wrong. Background color equals green. So that's going to set the current thing that we clicked as green. And then we also want to do the same thing to the other one. So we're going to do a document.getElementById, and we're going to select the ID that we have already, which is the last known button ID. Right? And then at the end of that, we also need to make sure that the last used stuff, so last known button ID, is equal to undefined again. So we need to clear those out. We need to reset it basically. Last known button number equals undefined. And we also need to do matches plus. We need to increment the amount of matches that we have. Yeah, that's basically it. Okay, cool. And then finally, what we also want to do out here after those matches is we want to do a if statement if, so here, if matches compares to 8. So whether or not we have 8 matches. If it does, then we want to run a function, which is going to be show when screen. That's the function that we're going to be running. Then that's a function we still got to create, but that's for another time. So that is that done. Then this is if it's no match. So if it's no match, right, then we want to do something completely else. So if there is no match, then we want to set the event.target, e.target.style dot background color equals orange. So we want to show the user a split second what he got, that he has the opportunity to see what the button was before flipping it immediately back over. And we're going to use a timer for that. So first I want to set it to orange. Then we need to set wait to true. So what that means is that we are not allowed to click anything during this moment, okay? Because it's going to have some time to show you what is actually happening. So we need it to make sure that wait is true, which means that you cannot press other buttons while this is going on, okay? So at that point, we set a timeout, okay? Timeout, set timeout. There we go. So that's how it's created. Let's see, is it? Okay, so it's this portion right here. Set timeout with an arrow function, and that goes like this. And inside here, you put the actual function, and then here's the timeout. So the timeout I want is 1,000 milliseconds, which is 1 second. And we're gonna say that inside here, so when the timer runs out, which is after 1,000 milliseconds, we want to reset basically all the values. So we want to set e.target.dataset.turnable to true, as well as the last known, but we'll look at that in just a second. Then e.target.style.background color equals red, or actually, you know what? Wait a minute. When it is no match, I'm actually gonna set this to red. And I'm also going to set the previous one. So document.getElementById, last known button ID, and then .style.background color, and then also red. So that if it doesn't match, we're going to set it to red. So that one actually matched. That one didn't, but it's not doing it yet. Hold on a second. What's going on here? Okay, and then oh, sorry, I'm doing this wrong. It needs to compare to, not equal to. There we go. So else runs wild, and then it becomes red, and the target as well. So the current one and the previous one both turn red, and then wait becomes true. Then it runs a reset after 1 second, so you actually have a second to view whatever is going on before it starts to ruin stuff again. So after this, we want to set the background color to white. So this is after the timeout. Then e.target let's see, what else do I need to change? Oh yeah, the text. So text content is going to equal to nothing. Let's see, I'm going to wrap it up here because we're coming towards the end of the video. And let's see, what else do I want to do? I'm just going to create the final variable, which is the temporary last clicked button number ID. Well, actually, I'm just going to say the last click button number. And that is going to equal to the document.getElementById last click button ID, and I'm writing this wrong. Document. Oh, need an equals here. And that's that. The reason I do this is so that I don't have to do the document.getElementById every single time. Now I can just store it in a variable and be done with it. So that's what we're going to do right now. So that is that one, and then we want to say the temporary last click button dot. We're going to do the same thing here. So we're going to say dataset.turnable equals true. And again here, .style.background color equals white, and text content equals nothing. Okay? And then the final thing here that we need to do is need to set the last click button number ID to undefined, the last no button number to undefined, and we gotta set wait to be false again. And that's all. So now we click and it goes away if it's wrong. You see? And then if it's correct, okay, hold on. When it's correct, document together one by ID. Oh, I'm not doing anything here. Oops. Style dot background color equals green. There we go. So now wrong and it goes away, and then if it's correct, it's green and it moves along just fine. So that's the basic principle of the memory game. This is as easy as you can do a number-based memory game, but you know, you get weird rescaling and like the buttons act a little weird. You can see that it tries to rescale a little bit for the big font size and the wrong padding. So in order to fix that, we're actually going to be using images, but we're going to do that in the next episode. And we're also going to be showing a windscreen, if I can code that in there within the 15 minutes. Although this video has become quite long, I hope you guys have learned something new and have learned plenty of what I've done here. If you have any questions, and I bet right now you have a lot, then don't hesitate to ask them in the comments down below. I'm happy to answer any and all of them. I mean, I did kind of rush through this, but again, time constraints, you know. I just want to learn you guys something new. And you know, really, if you look at this JavaScript, it is very basic English. It reads like English, like E to the event target. So you click, it has an event, it has a target, the thing you click on, its style, its background color, and we set it to green. Stuff like that. It reads like English. And that is why I think that you guys have a good way of understanding what is actually going on here. I have been rambling quite a bit. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought and if things can improve. Again, that's why I always leave that like if you like it, dislike if things can improve, but then also leave a comment on how things can improve. Anyhow, gone on for too long now. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you learned something, and I'll catch you guys in the next time. Peace!